1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost a weekend and you don't know what to do. Or you just need something fun to listen to.
Southside Pod!
Yes, we're on the air.
Pod.
And the gang's all here, all things on the South Side. You're listening to the Southside Pod. Looking for the best Southside breweries. Or you might just need an awesome place to eat.
Southside Pod!
Mount Greenwood, Evergreen,
Southside Pod.
Blue Island, Beverly, Pay Listen, all sub 2. You're tuned into the Southside Pod.
Southside Pod!
Oakland, Midlothian,
Southside Pod.
Oak Forest, Chicago Ridge, Flossmoor, and Bridgeview. You're listening to Southside Pod.
I don't know what else I can say about our official sponsor, Family Waterproofing Solutions. For crying out loud, the Southland's best 2 years in a row. Family-friendly pricing, best reviews in the business, basement repair experts for 25 years, family and veteran owned and operated. Tell them Southside Pod sent you, they're going to take care of you. See what a difference a family makes at familydry.com. Bill, Mike, my name is Chris. The three of us sitting at my 9-foot homemade oak bar. So you see that thing that my daughter got me for Christmas?
Yeah, it's like a wooden plank with a bunch of shot glasses on it.
Right, and she took
knows
like
you well,
she
Chris.
took like 4 podcasts, including the original one. She's got Southside Pod, EP Podcast, Socks in the Basement, and then the big tumbler glass and the board has the original show that you and I were both on.
OG.
Back, the OG on the radio. My first stop in radio, your first stop in radio, way back in the late 90s. The morning alternative on 107.1 The Planet.
She knows you. She knows you like drinking and radio.
Yeah, so she made this whole thing with like all of Dad's like coolest broadcasting things is what she did, which I thought was really
What
neat.
is my father like? Drinking and radio.
Right, that's what he likes. Like
Right.
drinking and talking.
Drinking
It's not
and
even-
talking?
He just
Yeah,
likes
right.
to drink and talk. That's all he does. Everybody's got fond memories of their dad. What did your dad do? He drank a lot and talked.
Right. If my daughter got me the 2 things I like, she'd shut off the lights and be quiet.
Have either of you guys ever eaten vegan?
Like something that's non-meat? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, one of our guests today.
Yeah, I had a grape once. Like, what do you asking?
One of our guests today claims that he can make a burger just as good, if not better, than most burgers that you'll eat, and none of it is meat.
Well, one of your guests today is a liar.
I mean,
Well, he could try to prove me wrong, but
he says he can make a pizza puff that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference with like the pepperoni and everything, and it's not even
Fake pepperoni?
Yeah,
no, I don't believe him.
you don't believe any of this, do
No,
you?
none.
No.
None.
Yeah, he's an Evergreen Park chef, and he's got a pop up in Bridgeport.
Maybe by itself would be like, oh, this isn't bad, but put it next to like one of those old
Yeah,
school
it's-
greasy pizza puffs and
Right.
do like a side by side. To me, there's only one way to eat vegan food. Is this like you take it, you
Smoker
order it,
and gravy.
you put it on your plate, and then you just throw it away.
Yeah. I'm
and
with
you
you, Bill.
grab some meat.
You ever had tofu turkey?
No,
Yeah,
because
don't.
Why?
Just don't.
Right. Why would you do that when there exists, I don't know, turkey? It's the same for me when they make like cheeseburger pizza or like pizza rolls that taste like Doritos. Or just eat the thing it's supposed to taste like. Like you don't need to combine things
Well, I
like
think the
that.
idea behind this is the health benefits of not eating too much red meat. Like he even told me, I'm a vegan, but this is something maybe you just mix into your diet to try to get your cholesterol a little lower, right?
So
like if you
instead
love
of 7
eating
hamburgers
meat,
a week, it's 6 hamburgers.
6 in a
and a
veggie
one-
burger
and a salad.
is what he's
One
trying to
of
say.
these
Yeah.
Oh, one of those.
That's what he's kind of trying to tell you there. He's trying to say that.
What is it? What does he call?
Nancy.
What does he call these burgers? You can't call it a hamburger.
He's calling the burger's called a Big Max because his name is Max.
That
So-
sounds like it's going to be a lawsuit.
Well,
Ours is the Big Mick.
The Golden Arch.
what was it? What was the one from Coming to America?
Yeah, they got the Big Mac.
Big
The Big Mick. The Big Max with an X. Totally different.
Pop-up restaurant in Bridgeport, Herbivore. Max Musto is the chef. I met him first on the EP podcast because he's an Evergreen Park guy. I discovered him because I think the mayor of Evergreen Park came down and
Mayor Burke.
Yeah, she ate something in your restaurant. She's Instagramming about it, and I was like, we got a guy that does like these really cool meat. It looks like heavy red meat type dishes.
Yeah.
None of it's meat. It's all plant based. Tell everybody a little bit about it in case they haven't heard about you.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I have a pretty extensive culinary background, had a little bit of an awakening, and decided that I needed to make some changes. So I went plant-based, and, you know, from one Italian to another, you grew up eating gravy and meatballs and brajol and sausage and pizza puffs and beefs. And, hey, man, I still wanted to have that stuff. And I wanted to, you know, improve my health and my quality of life. So I just started recreating these classic dishes that I grew up with, and hence Herbivore, it was born.
Yeah, and where are you guys located right now? You're going to be here for the whole month of January?
Yeah, we're here so we have a ghost kitchen in Logan Square. We kind of started doing like curbside pickups during the pandemic, trying to figure out how to still sustain life and make money. Then, you know, everything opened back up. We started doing like little pop-ups, and now we're getting like month-long residencies. We were at Virgin Hotel for the whole month of November. We're here at Kimsky in the South Side in Bridgeport next to Maria's Package Goods for the whole month of January. And we'll be hopefully opening our own brick and mortar this spring.
South Side, right? You're going to be South Side?
Yeah, we'll see.
Better get yourself South Side.
You can't give away too much yet, but put that good energy out there for us, Chris.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
That's awesome. All right.
You got to get over here.
What are you going to cook me today?
I'm going to cook you our burger, the Big Macs. It's our take on a on a Big Mac, but we do it plant-based. It's what we got our notoriety for. We were voted best vegan burger in Chicago by Chicago Magazine in November. We were published in their November issue. The last year we were second best vegan burger in the country by Veg Out magazine. And we just keep growing and people keep showing. It's wild.
All right, so I can't wait to try this. First, we're going to go back. We're going to take a look at how you cook this.
Let's do it.
But I am going to warn you right now.
Yeah.
I have never had a plant-based anything. Like, this is my first go at this, okay? So
you're a virgin here, all right?
Yeah, definitely.
We're going to pop that cherry.
I don't know what
Let's
it's going to be like for you.
All right.
Ivan's going to put these balls of meat, pseudo meat on. Do you cook it any differently than cooking a burger on the skillet?
No, it's like the only thing that's cooked different on the burger is the cheese, and we'll go through that method right now when we get to that level, but it pretty much sears the same. You can sear the sizzling.
So one of the things I've always been told, cooking a burger, don't squeeze the burger too much.
No.
Right?
No.
So once you get it down there and it's going, then you're going to let it go.
You want to leave it on one side. You only want to flip it once. These people who keep squeezing it, flipping it back and forth, you don't want to do it. You want to sear it really hard on one side, flip it, cheese it, let it rest.
Right. That's
Period.
all. Because the thing is,
They're doing all this extra stuff. It's not necessary.
No, it's crazy. Everybody wants to look good when they're standing in front of a grill, don't they?
Yeah, well, that'll make you look stupid.
I feel like guys do that though because they're like this way my wife thinks it's harder.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I have to stand out there and drink beer for 3 hours.
And then I don't have to do anything else except for man the grill.
Look how hard I'm working here.
This bun, it's a local bun. It's a 3-tier bun, sesame seed bun. We put some of the plant butter on there. The stuff's awesome. It browns. It's really nice on the bun. Then we toast those. We put those to rest. Ivan's going to come over here. He's going to do the cheese, a nice melty. Because, right, when you have a burger, like, if the cheese isn't melty and, like, you don't have that gooey, like, drippy effect, like, feel like you're missing it. You know, you're just, like, you're under par.
You know, you go into a burger place every once in a while, it's like they just put it on there. There's not even a melt to the cheese.
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing here? Is that like a Kraft single you just threw on my burger?
Yeah, amateur hour over here. It's made of soy. This was something that I wanted to talk to you last time. You know, we were talking a little of the molecular gastronomy and the science behind plant food. But all this stuff, they're like, oh, this is soy. It's like a whole ingredient, you know? It's a little beetroot powder. It's a little shiitake powder, which is mushrooms. Mushrooms gives that umami flavor, that satiation of like, hey, I'm eating meat. Plus, the thing that's cool about Impossible, they use this thing called heme iron, okay? And heme iron is just to give you that irony flavor like you'd get from meat.
Right.
So you get that like iron flavor, you get the umami, and then you get the crunchiness from the sear on it with the Maillard reaction. I mean, you're not going to be able to tell. Plus they use refined coconut oil in it to get the flecks of fat. So you have that fat satiation to those dopamine receptors in your brain. You're like, oh, this is hitting all of it. This is jackpot. Delicious. This is not our cheese. This is a cheese that is a special cheese that I get. It's a plant-based cheese. This is, I think, what separates us probably from anybody else that does it. I make my own mozzarella, I make my own ricotta, and I make my own cheese sauce, but not this one. This one we get out. Vegan cheese has a higher melting point. That's why we do this steam method. So basically,
I just wonder because he put what he did, what Ivan you did is you put after you put the cheese on, you put like a metal container over the top and you sprayed water on there to create steam.
Yeah, it's like a little bit of water and it helps melt the vegan cheese. Right now you can see that it's in that process of melting, and then I'm just gonna add a little bit touch of more.
You got to do a little bit more because of the way that it's not actual
it doesn't
cheese.
react like regular cheese because regular cheese does have that animal fact and like animal milk and anything, but you're not gonna like notice a difference between vegan cheese and regular.
I love how Bill has his head down on the bar, and it's just like he's just in just disbelief that I went and tried a vegan burger. I'm totally honest when I finally eat the burger. We're going to get to that before the show is over. I want to break in real quick, though, and remind you about our good friend Tom Walsh, your Edward Jones financial advisor. Tom would have tried a vegan burger with me. I have my money with Tom. Bill has his money with Tom. Mike, nobody knows what he's thinking right now. His wife is going to be totally disappointed in him when they get to their retirement. Over 20 years of experience. He's on the corner of 111th and Kedzie. Get in there and see him. The markets are volatile, inflation going on. He has done so much to protect my money. He will do the same for you. It's all about sitting down, figuring out your goals, figuring out where you're at in life, how long you got until you want to get that money back, how you can use some of that money even while you're investing it. 20 minutes with Tom, I learned a ton of stuff. If you don't want to stop in at 111th and Kedzie, give him a call today, 773-779-0023. I went to Horse Thief Hollow up here in Beverly. They're on the show this week.
Shocker, you went to a bar.
Yeah. Probably Monday morning too, right?
Why not? No, it was a Friday. It was a Friday. It was last Friday.
The Friday
I went in
morning.
there. Yeah, I went Friday night, Friday afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I got
Was
in
it
there.
dark?
No, it wasn't dark
Darkish?
yet. It gets dark at 4:50 now.
So close.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
close to dark
It's
is when
okay
I
then.
walked in there. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you something. They are probably one of the better breweries right now on the South Side. Right? That's not speaking ill of anybody else. There's about 3 or 4 of them that
We
are
got
like
some good ones down here.
can't miss breweries, but that's one of the best because you walk in, they got a really good food menu, and they've got they got like 9-10 beers up on tap all the time, and 4 of them are on store shelves right now. Like I'm actually drinking Delta Hurricane. I got more of these. It's a milk stout. And this one now is on store shelves.
Milk stout.
So they're
We're getting
like
towards stout
they're
season,
branching
Billy.
out from being just a place where you have to go there to drink their beer to where you can actually like you can go out to the store and just pick it up and keep it in
At
your
the
fridge.
Jewels?
Yeah, I know that they're at the Binnies. I don't know if they're at the Jewels yet. Okay, the Jewels doesn't really normally have a lot of selection.
Miller Lite, Bud
Yeah.
Light,
You know,
Coors.
I don't normally find very much there. You know, I mean, I used to go do that, but I don't do that anymore. But anyway, so I got into Horse Thief, took a seat at the bar, really good atmosphere, and just looked at that big giant menu and was like, what the heck am I going to end up drinking? I sat down with their owner, Neil Byers, and we tried a collaboration that they had with Goose Island. What are your thoughts on Goose Island? You were drinking a Goose just now here at the bar.
I still think they make great beer.
Yeah, you're drinking a Goose, right?
I am. I'm drinking the hazy beer house.
Right, and
now.
I'm drinking a Horse Thief Hollow
Yep.
brew.
So we should just mix
Pour
them
them
together.
together. Yeah.
Right, and we can make our own collaboration.
That's it.
That would be disgusting.
Bootleg.
A pitcher of beer, a pitcher of beer. Let's order another pitcher of beer. That pitcher of beer should come over here. I love that pitcher of beer.
I'm hanging at the bar at Horse Thief Hollow in Beverly, and I always love it when I get to do an interview like at the actual bar, because we do the podcast at a bar, right? And Neil Byers, he was like, let's sit at the bar and try a brand new beer. And it's a collaboration that I can't wait to get into. But first off, how were your holidays, my friend?
Man, everything was awesome, Chris.
Yeah?
Yeah, everything was good.
Do any hunting? You go out there and hunt like a reindeer?
I got a hunting story, but it's for a later time. Yeah, I came back empty-handed.
Yeah, I
but
keep waiting for you to say, yeah, I killed a reindeer, and we cooked it, and it was great.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna have a special platter here at Horse Thief that's gonna be reindeer meat. Like that's what I was waiting for you to tell me. Okay, so your beer list is killer. I mean, I always have people ask me about breweries that they should go to because we go to all of them, and you are always in the first breath when I name off top ones around the South Side. One, because your menu's great. Okay, even though I know you kind of went to a winter menu, you kind of changed some things up, a little more barbecue orientated recently. I was just in here the other day and got the platter. It was awesome. And I will recommend to people that Texas barbecue sauce on the chicken That's the best. That's the best chicken. Like if you like hot wings, that's even better than that. I would tell people get that. But the menu is full, and it's been full for a while. How do you keep up putting out so many beers and so many different kinds? Because it's not like you have a massive brewery here. I mean, it's still almost like a pub level. I mean, I don't see all this equipment. How do you guys keep up with this schedule?
Honestly, Jake just works his ass off, and so does Morrison. And like once you get ahead, it's easy. When you get behind, it's hard to like catch up, and like all the pressure is on a couple beers, and that's where it's like really difficult. But once you like break through that, and you get 8 or 10 beers on, then you can start thinking ahead and doing your lagering and all that kind of stuff. And like, but it really just comes down to working hard and planning it right, like anything else, I guess.
It's awesome. You guys are like a top-notch operation here in Beverly, and you did a collaboration with Goose Island, and I'm going to have to speak for all the craft beer nuts. Well, I mean, isn't Goose owned by like a big corporation? You guys are like a small little guy, and you're working with Goose. I mean, like, does that ever even play into your mind? Or beer is beer, craft beer is craft beer, brewers are brewers. It doesn't matter how big or how small they are.
I mean, 10 years ago or whatever it was when Goose got bought, like, yeah, it was a little bit of a slap, I think. But they've been incredible at supporting the craft community. They think of themselves as a small brewery, even though it's owned by a bigger partner, and they do all the right things. So they came down, worked with Jake and Morrison, and I think we had a great time brewing this beer.
Well, you know what I like about this beer is this because I've talked to you about beers that I love and how I got into craft beer. I was on the West Coast, and I was drinking IPAs in around 2001, 02. I was in Northern California, Southern California, all the breweries out there. I really, got used to something other than your typical Budweiser, Miller products and things like that on the West Coast, because it was the first time I was really exposed to it, and a West Coast IPA became like one of my go-to styles. But it's a harder IPA to make than these East Coast ones, right? Because this isn't a dirty one. You got to be really smart about how you make this kind of beer, right?
Yeah, it's kind of back to like focusing on the simple things. There's nothing to hide behind with this beer. So you got a simple malt bill, a simple hop bill, and if you don't take all the steps appropriately, and accurately, then you're going to have a mistake. So this is the kind of beer that, kind of like what you're saying, we wanted to get back to brewing some West Coast IPAs, some of the things that we enjoyed drinking back in the day, and that's kind of where this all came about.
That's awesome. The name of the beer is Flyway. So when you do a collaboration like this, you pick out a tank, you make the thing, when it's gone, right? That's kind of how this works.
Right.
Give me the ABV, the IBU. I mean, do you know that off the top of your head?
I have no idea what the IBU is.
I think the ABV, I'm reading it looks like 7.3.
Yeah, 7.3.
Whatever the IBU is, who cares?
Yeah.
Okay, but Flyway, what does that mean? Is there a meaning behind the name with this collaboration with Goose?
Well, in the Midwest, we're like kind of right above one of the greatest flyways, going from the migration of the geese from north to south. So that was kind of the thought process.
I knew it had to do something with
Goose
nature.
Island from the north side, coming to the south side, flyway from Canada Goose going down south, I
knew it had to be something with that. I mean, I asked you like how your week was. You're like, my buddy and I went to the cabin, took a hike, lived on berries and like some grass.
Whiskey, yeah.
And whiskey, of course.
Yeah.
And some beer and stuff. So, it's a thing, like some people make a place with like a motif, right? Because they're like, this is what this is like what the hip thing is. When I walk in here, there's wood, you can see barrels, it looks like a brewery. It's got like something that I'm going to tell you would feel like if I was in the Pacific Northwest, or like I'm in Wisconsin with all the woodwork and the big giant bar. And it's really, it's not like you were probably going for a certain motif. You're like, no, this is what I like.
Yeah, this is what I like. Yeah. Exactly. That's what's cool about you saying this, is like, there's no big corporate behind this and like a think group trying to like design it. This is just what I'm into, and here you have it. Like, if you like it, great. If you don't, I'm sorry.
I love it. Well, first off here, I haven't even talked about the beer. The beer's good. That's what I guess I would tell the people. It's really clean. It's crisp. If you're an IPA fan, especially when it comes to like traditional IPAs, this is like a must-have one. And I'm going to tell you something. When you first got into craft beer and you first started going to different breweries, everybody had one of these, or they had 2 of them, or they had 3 of them. Now these are almost like rarities, the West Coast IPAs. So I mean, to me, this is like, you have a lot of really great ones up there on that board, and I know you've got the 4 different ones that are on store shelves now, that you guys have, packaged and people can buy, and they come here to Horse Thief and they can have them for takeout. You can still get growlers of the other things and things like that. But I mean, but this is something now that is unique that maybe 10 years ago when you opened, this wouldn't have been unique.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And it's actually funny, like when we were setting out 5-6 years ago, thinking about what we were going to send into distribution, you weren't going to send a West Coast IPA because there was a lot of them. There's heavy competition in that market, but the East Coast IPA didn't really have much going on. And so we put all of our eggs into that basket, and then by the time we get it onto shelves, it's like, all right, well now there's 100 East Coast IPAs or hazy IPAs, and now this is obscure and different and unique because you don't see it anymore. So it's an evolving market, and it's just changing all the time, and we're just fortunate that we can brew all kinds of different styles, and I have the team that could say, hey, let's go do this, West Coast IPA, great, knock it out of the park, and so on and so forth.
How's everything going around here? Beverly, neighborhood looking good, everything going well. You got events coming up, I would think. You got things that you're doing. You got plans for the future. You're already probably looking at March like, holy cow, this place is going to be up for grabs in about 2 months. I mean, is that what's on your mind right now?
Oh, yeah, 100%. All of it. All of it. And that's the last hour. But no, everything's great. We've been lucky. The neighborhood's super supportive, and appreciate you coming out, and you do great work on the south side, and means a lot.
I appreciate it, Neil, and trust me, this is a pleasure to come to. This is one of those places I walk into when you're not even here, and you've seen me before. Neil's just sitting here. You know what I like about you is I like the fact that when I come in here just a random like Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that, Neil's here, and if he's not working and bustling and running around, he sits down at a table and he just starts hanging out with people that are around here. I mean, is this what you envisioned when you started it? Because I feel like it must have been.
I honestly, I'm kind of an introvert, and I started in the kitchen, and now that that's all solidified, and
now that it works,
I don't have to bust my ass in the kitchen anymore. I can come out here and meet people like you, and it's quite an honor, but it does have to be learned. It wasn't like my inclination to be shaking hands and kissing babies, but.
Neil Byers, this is Horse Thief Hollow. Get out here and try Flyway. Try all these other incredible beers that they have up here on tap. I mean, quick look at it. I got 12 of them. You got 12 different beers that you guys have right now currently on tap. This is a brewery you want to try on the south side in Beverly, right around 104th and Western, right? I got that right?
You got it right.
All right, Neil, thanks so much, my man.
Thank you, Chris.
A pitcher of beer, a pitcher of beer. Let's order another pitcher of beer. That pitcher of beer should come over here. I love that pitcher of beer.
Have you been injured at work? Then you need someone who will fight for the care and compensation you deserve. The insurance companies will look out for themselves and their bottom lines, not you. I'm Matthew Coleman, partner and head of the work injury department at the law offices of Parenti and Norm. My team and I have the experience, dedication, and proven results it takes to fight for your rights. Call or text me today at 312-641-5926 or visit us on the web at pninjurylaw.com.
I still got to try to have vegan burger before the show's over, but before we get to that, Mike, did you know that Bill has an entire month off of work and his kids are in school and he's bored?
Well, I used to think before my kids were both in school that all the people that had 2 kids in school, how much freedom there would be. That would be awesome. And there's less free time now that my kids are both in school because now it's just more time to do stuff around the house, like honey-do lists and things like that.
What do you have to do around the house?
Well, I mean, right now I got to de-Christmas everything. I have to take all the lights down. I'm doing a whole makeover of my 7-year-old's room because that was her Christmas present.
Was you're redoing a room for her?
Yeah, I got paint it, patch it. I'm putting a hanging chair in.
You gotta give crappier
lights.
presents, Bill. That's
yeah.
the
Stop
problem.
giving such good presents out.
There's always something to do around the house.
Okay?
Always.
Think of the money you would have saved if you just bought her I don't know, like a video game system or something like that. It'd been a lot cheaper. Here, sit in front of this
What
video
she
game
wanted.
system. Right.
But
Here's the
there's
thing, Bill.
always
If you
things
don't
to
do those things, there's still always things to do.
But what am I going to do? Sit on the couch and watch TV? Like
No,
I can't
but-
do that. I always have to be doing something.
So then the thing
Read
is,
a book.
you're choosing to do
Go
it.
for
So it
a
isn't
run.
that you don't have free time. This is what you enjoy doing.
I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I don't enjoy doing nothing.
Okay, so what do you enjoy?
oh boy, long pause, listeners.
I'm hanging out with my kids, and if they're in school,
They're in
then I
school.
don't
So
see
this is
why.
what bothers you. The only thing that brings you any joy in the world
That's not
is
true.
being with the kids.
One of the main things, sure.
Okay, what else brings you joy?
Hey, just family time. That's
Okay, so you need to be around people who are your
Are
family.
you like
Right.
the
That's what
room
you want.
dad for the school?
all. I do things like that. You know, we run a Girl Scout troop.
You run a Girl Scout troop?
Yeah, me and my wife.
I didn't know you ran a Girl Scout
Yeah,
troop.
you want to buy some cookies? I'll send you the QR code.
No, I'm not buying your cookie. What is this? Don't push your sugar on me.
I'm very crafty, so I make a lot of things for the troop. You know,
What do you craft?
construct
Yeah,
What do you craft?
I want to know about Bill the
like
Crafter.
games and things for their meetings and things like that. Little whatever I need to.
He's the
construct.
What's your
most,
favorite
he's the
thing
most
you've crafted?
girl dad I've ever met in my
It's
entire
like
life.
worked out. It's like nailed
He's
it.
only happy when he's around his girls. He involves himself in all the different projects. He's making sure they're going to be a top seller when it comes to their Girl Scout cookies, and he's being crafty. And his present that he handed out was redoing their bedroom and putting a hanging swing in. Don't talk to my daughter ever again, because she will not love me after she
didn't do
speaks to
any
you.
of that.
Right? Don't even look at my daughter. Just keep walking, okay? I don't want you ever. Don't even bring your ideas into this house. We don't do that stuff here. We don't do that. It's now time for your Southside Pod Bulletin Board, brought to you by Cool Clouds Vapor Shop. Quitting smoking is hard, and Cool Clouds wants to offer you an alternative. They have a great taster bar, great CBD products. Everything's great about them. A great new location, 3148 West 95th Street. That's the northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. See more at coolcloudsvapor.com. Lots of music on the South Side this weekend. Friday night, 9 p.m., Stone Type Thing at the Thirsty Beaver in Crestwood, 5599 127th Street. It's covers of STP, Velvet Revolver, maybe even some Guns N' Roses. Also, Friday night starting at 6 p.m. going until 9, Mark Taylor is playing at Hailstorm Brewing Company, 8060 186th Street in Tinley Park. A great brewery. If you've never been, get out there. Speaking of breweries, Blue Island Beer Company is having Now That's What I Call Karaoke, Friday night, 7:30 p.m., the 13th of January, 13357 Old Western Avenue. The next night at Bibco, Joe Ryan and the AM Drinkers. Every second Saturday, they now have a residency at Blue Island Beer Company. Our good friend, Joe Ryan. I might stop by that one. Also on Saturday the 14th, stand-up comedy night at Jack's Place in Midlothian, 3915 147th Street. Neighborhood bar, free pool, $10 domestic buckets. Tickets are $10, and that also includes food. Out in Lamont, the Forge Fat Tire Bike Race takes place this Saturday. It kicks off at 10 a.m. They always hope for snow for this. I don't know if they're going to get that. But we're going to be out in Lamont the next 2 episodes of Southside Pod. I know we have at least 1 restaurant per show the next 2 episodes. Let's get back to Herbivore, though. The moment of truth with Chef Max Musto. We're going to find out if vegan hamburgers taste anything like hamburgers. The big reveal brought to you by SidSauce.net this week. Small batch hot sauces, peppers grown on the South Side, flavors developed, bottled on the South Side, delivered to your door. See everything they have to offer at SidSauce.net. All right, and you're filming me. This is what I think is great. I'm sitting here doing a podcast with you. You're filming me trying this burger. So we got the patties. We got the special sauce. It's going to taste like a hamburger. That's what you're telling me. This is going to taste just like it.
I love watching people
All right,
for the first time.
All right, here we go. Wow. It tastes just like a cheeseburger. That's insane. That's nuts. Yeah. There's nothing in that tastes like it's not a hamburger. It actually tastes like I'm having, like there's grease from the meat in my mouth while I'm eating that. How the heck do you do that? Explain that to me. How do you do that?
Vegan magic.
That's nuts. That is crazy.
Okay, take another bite.
I'm gonna take another bite.
Get in there.
I'm gonna eat this whole thing.
Eat the whole thing.
I seriously was convinced to myself that I was gonna eat this. And I was gonna have to fake this with you.
Yeah, no.
Wow. It's one of the best burgers I've had in the entire South Side, and that's a vegan burger.
That's a vegan.
You're
burger.
not lying to me.
No, I'm not. Listen, man, like
you didn't slip meat into this, did you?
No, I got an extensive culinary background. You know, I'm classically trained. I went to the Cordon Bleu. I cooked at some Michelin star restaurants. I worked at Ocean. They got the best burger in Chicago, and I got the best vegan burger.
If vegan burgers taste like this, I could go vegan really easy.
Yeah, you know,
seriously, because you know what, this feels very guilt free. That's what's great about it. It's a guilt free. Try a fry. Okay, these are now. What kind of French fries are these?
Truffle fries, truffle oil, little pecorino romano from our homies Cheese and Thank You, and then a homemade garlic aioli.
So, somebody's first reaction to this would be, and they're really good.
Yeah.
Somebody's first reaction to this would be, well, they're French fries, for crying out loud. Where's the meat supposed to be in the fry? But a lot of people put like some kind of meat or juice or something in their fry.
Yeah, they cook it in animal fat. You know, mayonnaise isn't vegan. They use egg in it. Cheese is obviously dairy. There's no animal products in there. So, like, you know, yes, eating something deep fried isn't the healthiest. But then if you're talking about animal fats that are clogging arteries, it's not the same kind of fat, right? This isn't artery clogging fat.
I need to go back to the burger.
Yeah, go ahead, get in there. It's wild, isn't it?
It's nuts to me.
Yeah. We're doing something.
I can imagine you have a line on a door with a burger like this.
Well, we do like different menus. We'll do like a vegan Taco Bell menu, or we do like a vegan In-N-Out menu, and then
you do vegan In-N-Out burgers?
Oh yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah,
that's my new best friend.
I think we're gonna do them with that technique.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna probably do them the last week here of the month. I think we're gonna probably plan on doing. We do the animal style fries. We do the burgers animal style. I mean, it's a lot of fun. People love that one too.
So take me through the health section of this, all right? Okay, so
absolutely.
If I was having a double burger that, to be honest with you, is bigger than what a Big Mac is.
Yeah.
Your Big Macs is, I mean, this is a good-sized burger, okay?
Yeah,
I'm going to be full when I'm done with this. I'm already halfway through
But the amount of full you're going to be is completely different, right? So, like, when you're full from this, you're going to be able to still get up, and if you wanted to go for a mile walk, you're going to be able to do that. Like, when you eat something that is really dense in animal fat, it takes a lot more energy to break that down. So, like, you ever eat something and you're just, like, so full after you can't move? Like, you don't get the itis like that. It's just not the same. Yeah, you maybe eat 3 or 4 of them, you might feel that way, but from one burger, you're going to be fine.
I would imagine, far less cholesterol, fat. This is much
all
healthier.
Around. Long term,
yeah.
You're not going to eat a Big Macs every day and think it's going to be. Yeah, I mean, we all do. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
I'm going to go vegan. I just want to eat one of these every day.
Right. I mean, long term, eating that every day or eating McDonald's, what do you think is going to be better?
Well, yeah, this is going to be better.
Right? So, but this is the whole thing. It's like we want to just do better just overall. You know, you have a regular burger once a month, you have this maybe 3 times a month instead of having the regular burger 4 times. You know, you just make little efforts every time to do better.
All right, this is not a hard place to get down to.
No.
They're in Bridgeport, so if you're far south, this is not, I mean, I didn't have a problem coming down here middle of the day.
Free street parking.
Finding a place to park right on the street. I know people here in Bridgeport, they go, it's the ballpark, and I can't park on the street. Yeah. There's not a ball game going on, first of all, and secondly, there's plenty of street parking around here. Give me the address one more time for people.
We're at Kimski. It's at 960 West 31st Street. It's attached to Maria's Packaged Goods.
You got a full bar back here.
Which is a full-service bar. Yeah. This has been a staple in the neighborhood since 1986, and they've just expanded. They have like a couple little restaurants attached, and that's where we came in and took over for the month. Chef Juan Kim gave us his restaurant, and we're here for Veganuary all month long. Wednesday through Saturday from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Get down here.
Get down here early, too.
And best way for people to follow you in the future as well. Instagram? What's the address?
Is the best. It's Herbivore _Chicago, HERBIVORE _Chicago. If you can find us on Facebook as well, Herbivore Chicago as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
You convinced me.
Yeah.
Absolutely
You're a believer,
incredible.
Brother.
Thank you so much, Max.
Thank you for
this
coming.
Food is great. I'm going to stop the interview though now because every time I want to take a bite, I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
okay.
right on.
It's the Southside! It's the Southside! It's the Southside Pod! Thanks for listening! Thanks for tuning in to the Southside Pod! Y'all come back now, you hear?